Good
evening, everyone. Thank you for your attendance to tonight's Town Council Planning Committee meeting on Monday, the 18th of November. To begin with, we have public participation. This is where I say I don't think we have anyone in the Zoom lobby. I don't think we have anyone in the Zoom lobby. So we don't have anyone here. So I will move swiftly off onto the main agenda. So we can't get the slides open, right? Okay. So begin with apologies for absence or substitutions. We have Tony Scott, who is he may not be very aware, but he's had a procedure recently, which I believe has gone well, but he's in recovery period at the minute, so I'm sure we'll wish him all the best as recovery. Hope to see him soon. I did have tentative apologies from Councillor Pond. However, he's good enough to be here. He was a tight schedule, but yeah, if we can go on for too long, he might have to disappear, but we'll cross that bridge as we come to it. I don't have any further apologies. So item number 2, to receive the minutes of the meeting held 28th of October, which I believe has been circulated. I'd like to propose the committee approve the minutes of 28th of October as a true record of the meeting. Can I have a second, please?
Second that, Chair.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any comments on those minutes? Can I take a vote in favour, please? Thank you very much. That's carried. Item number 3, to receive members' declarations of interest. Does anyone have any declarations of interest regarding the agenda? Councillor Peake.
I'm a Mid-Sussex District Councillor, member of the District Planning Committee, and reserve my right at a future date to change my mind on any application was discussed tonight should new evidence, reports, analyses, etc. come to my attention.
Thank you very much, Councillor Peacock. Councillor Whittaker.
Stereo, Chairman, from England.
Thank you very much. Any further declarations of interest? Fantastic. So, Chairman's announcements. The only one I was going to bring up is that our draft letter to the District Council is no longer a draft. It has been sent, and I believe it's been received. The application at SA20, which we were mainly writing to address, I believe has not gone before the District Council as of yet. We were hoping it might have done this month. So I believe it may go in December before the District Council. But thank you everyone for their involvement in that piece of correspondence. Hopefully it's reiterated the concerns we had about SA19 and SA20 in particular. Does anyone have any comments on that?
Chairman, I'd like to thank you and the Vice Chair and the Clerk for taking up that request, because it was only a request, so I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So thank you. I equally thank you for your contribution and for raising the issue with us, because it was certainly gives a lot to do. And hopefully everyone can take, all the relevant stakeholders can take note of that before next month. So thank you very much. Okay, we have a few protected tree applications on the agenda, of which we can see there. As per, I would advise that we do the usual thing, i.e., I'll get this bit wrong. We put these to the tree officer for any concerns they may have. I'd like to propose that we do that at this stage. That's a problem. I was just say, can I have a second? But again, that's what you were looking to do.
It was indeed, Chair. Yeah, I'll second that. Yeah,
thank you.
Referral to the tree officer.
Thank you.
Around any adverse findings, I'm sure we'll have some comments.
I'd like to think there's plenty on there to comment on. Do we have any comments on that? Councillor Montford, please.
Thank you, Chair. I did go online to see if I could find out who or why we need to remove oak trees. I couldn't get on the portal. So there may be something seriously wrong with them, which would mean, yes, they've got to come down. But I'm very unhappy with DM 242559, Moore Place, who want to remove 2 oaks And then want to treat the stumps to inhibit regrowth as well, really going for it. And the other one is, it's in Baldwin's 242688, again, end of my road. They want to remove an oak to ground level. Well, unless they've got very, very good reason, like Ganoderma, wrong with them, I would really, really object to those two being going forward. Just like that. You make
Absolutely.
clear.
Yeah, no, that's what they're there for. I'd like to think this is where trees, there's no tree officer pays dividends, I'm sure they will cast their eye as in depth as they need to make sure that those particular changes are necessary. So I would say concur with that.
I'll just take a look.
It's the two Baldwins ones. Easiest.
And insult in my water.
No, yes. Okay. Right, thank you very much, Councillor Moxford. Do we have any more points on the protected tree? Thank you very much. Okay, so we can now move on, I believe, to the substantive agenda, of which we have two applications before us, both in Town South. In the absence of Councillor Scott, I will do my best to run through these with you. So the first one is DM 242568, as I say, it's in Town South, which is 1 to 47 Orchard Way. Those of you who aren't aware of where that is, it's a block. Hence the reason why all the properties in question are, all the dwellings in question are on the single application. So this is a renewal of existing timber balustrades with 2 millimetre thick large steel perforated panel held by, if I've got this right, square hollow section 25 by 25 balustrades, redecoration of existing redecoration of existing garage doors to match existing colour, replacement of gable and garage doors like for like timber doors, renewal of rear private balustrades with a like for like material and design. So this is the area in question, Orchard Way. And obviously in red is the particular block, the play area is not set over here. Might give you an indication as to where exactly you're looking. This is the, I believe, is the proposed diagram. I didn't put one in the slides for the existing because I couldn't really, the graph doesn't really show the difference. I don't think I'll try and zoom because I'm not ruining everything. So these are balustrades, these two sections over here, the garage doors that are looking to be replaced are on either side here, and then I believe redecoration of those in the middle. So these two I believe are rotten, so they're going to be replaced like for like with timber doors, and then on the rear here we have the balustrades and balcony balustrades in the rear are going to be replaced with like for like using timber, I believe, again. So the main change is in the front here, the balustrades going along here are going to be steel as opposed to what I believe was already timber. So the main reason to add this on the slides today is because given the size of the property and the amount of dwellings in question, it seems worth discussing. The next slide is just really graphic on steel balustrades that are going to be in place. So I don't particularly have an issue. My understanding is the current balustrades in place are in need of repair, and the new material will make it more durable, which makes sense to me. and also probably that bit safer. So I'm quite happy to support approval. Can I have a second? Councillor Peacock, thank you very much. Does anyone have any comments on this particular?
No, only to say it needs replacing. It seems sensible to go with a more permanent, robust solution. And if it's in line with planning design guidance, Sussex, DG 38, which is design buildings with architectural integrity and a sense of place, which one would assume it would. I agree with you.
Thank you very much. Any further comments before we go to a vote? Councillor Pond, please.
Just as thoughts, I'm trying to think, is that south north facing? I'm just wondering whether in the height of summer, whether that metal could become quite hot. And just a comment, just to say, has that been consideration, especially, as the temperatures start to get increasingly high, although we did see a lot of rain this year, so I'm not sure where that was. But that would just be one thought, just the height, again, just to make sure there's a consideration around safety, which I'm sure there will be. So again, no objections, just comments around sort of the nature of metal rather than wood and heat and second point.
Thank you very much. Any further comments on this one? No? Okay. If we could go to approval then, please. That's carried. Thank you very much, everyone. And our next application is not far away at all. This is DM 242637, which is the land to the rear of 94, 94A, 96 and 98 at London Road, which is a proposed two-storey building to be constructed to house 3 ancillary commercial units. So in terms of where we are looking, so we have London Road, which is obviously here. This is the area in question. This small shaded bit here is the proposed development, if you like, which is obviously taking up space, which isn't really being used for very much, if anything. So if we move on, so this is essentially a diagram of the utilisation currently, or the lack of. So 98, 96 here, this one here is 94 and 92, so that's the area here. This would be the only access point, which wouldn't be vehicle access. Obviously, on the road running alongside here. Should be easy point. So this is the proposed unit. So the idea being there will be 2 units. This is mainly the rationale for storage. So we have 2 units here, and then I believe there's going to be a third one in the roof space. There's in the front facing part of the development, there's going to be some roof lights, but not in the rear, which I believe is probably to avoid any overlooking or any inhibiting the privacy through properties behind, because I believe Dalloway Gardens runs behind this space. And then there's going to be access, obviously, into the upstairs, which is the staircase up here, and so that's essentially what we're looking at. I would like to say this would be a good use of space that isn't being used in terms of being able to provide storage for probably much needed storage for various commercial outlets in the area. My main concern would be the access, because if there's no vehicle access, there's probably going to be a bit of an issue given where it is on London Road when they're doing the building work. And then going forward, if you're going to have things like deliveries and things like that, you don't quite know exactly what's going to be stored, then that might cause quite a considerable problem on that stretch of road if that's going to be a common occurrence. But from a planning perspective, in terms of what the proposal is and the benefit that we could gain, I would be happy to recommend for approval. But obviously, we do have those two concerns to go with. So If I could have a second for that recommendation, please.
I'm happy to second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Goodwin.
God.
God. Oh my God.
It's very good.
I did it again. Never mind. Next time. Has anyone got any particular comments on that? Thank you very much.
Do we know the proposed usage time? Or is it just the general commercial?
As far as I understand, I don't have the specifics on it, but it may be that there is something in the documentation I missed for that. I was under the impression it was general storage for retail outlets in the area.
Well, looking at the height, it's relative. It would appear to be relatively low level, taking into account, as you said, Galloway Gardens. That has been a formidable category of the town many years ago. I think that it is important to bear in mind, but low level. You've already mentioned the traffic. I mean, it is a concern, but it's not necessarily a planning consideration. It is a big issue, but it's not a planning consideration. And we have to look at the actual planning merits as such. So I concur with you.
Thank you very much. Yes, in terms of the height, I believe that it doesn't go above the height of the principal property in front, which I think is a valid point. But certainly, it does look like everything's been made to avoid overlooking of the residential property behind, which I think we can I can't think of what I said before, but it's good anyway. It's positive that concern has been noted by the applicant. I don't have any slides. No, I didn't. So thank you very much for your comments.
Yeah, just to say, looking at it, I think it's behind a one-stop shop and another newsagent, which I find it odd that there's two pretty much same shops next to each other. But anyway, that's a point for another day. So I think it's the storage behind that. I think my only comment would be just to ensure that this is, it is for commercial use. That's what the application is predicated on, not for accommodation or something else that manner. But I agree, anything we can do to support the businesses, especially at this juncture in the town, I think is a positive step. And again, it's really hard. Although it doesn't look that high, it was really hard to figure out the dimension. It wasn't the best in terms of figuring out exactly what the height. You have to take the scale and a little ruler on my screen and turn it there, but I do think it isn't that high. And certainly the building is, for those of you that know the High Street, which I'm sure you do on London Road, they are quite tall buildings as well. So it is, I think, well within the height of the principal building. So.
Yeah, thank you. One more point is this is just from my point of view, I might be wrong, but it may take some of the, I mean, it's small, but it may take some of the pressure off of all the applications we get for areas like railway approach, which obviously can be a bit probably get applications that don't seem suitable for that stretch quite often. This might be more feasible than some things we get over that way. But while it's not a planning concern, I do think it's worth noting the concern regarding impacts on traffic on that stretch. Because if we're looking for anything that might be traffic, I think that would be bad. As you say, it's not key to planning concern.
We probably thought about this, but maybe we can put in the conditions that when the construction management plans drafted, the officers give specific thought about issues like that. There will be standard times, construction times, 8 till 6 maybe, but they give greater thought to peak hour traffic movements on London Road, just an advisory to them. I'm sure they'll be aware of it, but
yeah, certainly. No, the conditions was what I was wanted. So yeah, if we can put something there along those lines, that'd be really helpful, I think. Okay. If we don't have any further points, can we go to a vote for approval on that one? Subject to the conditions that are stated. Thank you very much. Looks like that's carried. So that is actually what I've got for you this evening. The next meeting will be Monday the 9th of December, and I close this meeting at 7:21. Thank you very much.
Just in case. I must admit, how do they improve the line stop? Did you stop? on the main, exit out the swing chair, say stop share. It's probably easiest. And then recording, pause, well, you can do that too. Do you need to